Welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. Y'all, summer has come back today. For a couple of days we had some decent weather. It was in the low 80s yesterday. Humidity was only about 70%, so it wasn't terrible. But today, y'all, another scorcher. Gonna be in the mid 90s. Humidity is over 80% out here right now. And I thought, what a great time to get out here and work on this old hog feeder. It's been sitting out in the woods now for over a year. We used it growing out 3 hogs a couple of years ago or so, and it worked pretty good. But we stopped using it there for a while. We've been bucket feeding, and we've decided we're going to grow out 2 hogs for us here on the homestead this year that we will slaughter and butcher ourselves. That's just how we do it, y'all. And what we're going to do this year, instead of bucket feeding the whole time, is we're actually going to free feed these hogs for probably the first 4 months. And then the last 2 months, until we've topped them out, we're going to bucket feed. That way we can pull that feed intake back to the level that we're wanting to make sure that we get that lean to fat ratio that we're used to and that we like. And we actually are going to go for just a little bit more fat this year. Last year, I believe we had a 1/2 inch fat cap, maybe just a little bit over it when we butchered back in the winter. And I'm really shooting for that 1 inch fat cap this time. Nothing more than 1 inch though, because 1 inch will give us all the lard that we'll need for, not for frying, like I've told you before. We use other oils for that just because frying in hog lard, love it. But if you don't have a gallbladder, it ain't good. So we like it for making biscuits, tortillas, and we also use it, y'all, for keeping our cast iron in tip-top shape after we have used it and we clean it. So guys, I thought we'd do a little bit of scraping on this thing, throwing a little paint where there's a little rust on the inside, and getting it ready, because in about a month's time, 2 of these hogs that we're piglets that we're raising out are going to be going into their new lot and starting the grow out process. In about December is when we're going to harvest those animals. Guys, thanks for hanging in with us at the Piney Woods Homestead. Hit that thumbs up for us and subscribe if you hadn't, and if you have, y'all, we appreciate you. Let's get to a little bit of scraping and a little bit of fixing up this hog feeder. Now y'all, I'm not looking for perfect here. I'm just looking to get the rust off, and there's a thin layer. I may wire brush it as well. And then I've got some old purple paint up here. You don't have to go back with silver. This is on the inside unless you're just worried about how it looks out in the woods when everybody's gonna see it but you. And I'm picking there, y'all. But it's a little bit ate up, not too bad where it hadn't been maintained. But I think what we'll actually do once we get this thing kind of refurbished a little is I'm gonna build an actual mountain platform for it with a roof over it. Even though these things are designed to shed water, it's a whole lot better if you can keep them dry. Do you ever know you have a tool, but you just can't find that thing? And when you're looking for that thing, you find something, hey, I need that for a project that's coming up. I'm having one of those mornings, y'all. I'm looking for, I've got a little disc brush, kind of paint scraper thing that'll go on to the end of my cordless drill and would really help me get this rust off a lot quicker than this old putty knife. But I found this old pulley that I need. I need it for the new gate, the door that I'm going to build for the farrowing barn in there to make it easier to raise and lower a door to get hogs in and out as I need to. So for now, I'm going to stick with this here paint scraper or putty knife, whatever you call that, and some sandpaper. So I guess you work with what you got when you can find it, y'all. Usually I'm more organized than this. Y'all, this feeder's got a divider in it. It's not really a divider, it's like a flow rate. It's just a gate that's on the inside. That's the right word, it's a gate. And you can raise that gate up and down to limit or increase the amount of feed that the hogs are able to siphon out at one time. And you want to keep that thing as low as you can so that just gobs of feed aren't coming out. You want to make them work for it. And that way they're not wasting feed. Even though these feeders are designed with a lip on the inside to keep it from coming out, y'all, they'll still manage to waste some feed out of them. So I'm gonna take this gate out because I'll need to sand on it a little bit too and repaint it. And I got a wing nut in here that's stuck, rusted up, stuck. And I'm gonna try to get it out. And that may not happen. I need 3 hands. It's turning. I say it's turning. Just a lot of rust on it. Kind of like me, there's a lot of rust on me too. Notice I'm wearing my finest pants today. Y'all, when it's as hot as it is, I'm not too concerned about fashion. I heard it said before that in the cold weather you can put on as many clothes as you need to get warm, but when it's hot you can only take off so many before you get arrested. But out here in the woods it don't really matter. And plus when you're feeding up hogs and it's sloppy wet, good idea to wear some old clothes. Y'all, I meant to mention this in a couple of videos back we did. That Kyla, you know, she's big into the FFA. She is president of her FFA local chapter for her senior year of high school coming up. And she just got picked out of, I think, about 3,000 kids in the state, one of maybe 10 or 11 that gets to go to a national FFA convention as a delegate for the state. So that's pretty cool. We're thankful that the Lord has blessed her in that way. You know, she's not perfect by any means, and none of us are. There's only been one perfect person ever. And we try our best to, you know, to live that way too, but we all got a little rust on us. I'll get this thing off of here, and then I'll show you a little bit better detail of what this thing does. All right, a little bit of penetrating oil and some elbow grease. And I got that wing nut off. I actually lost one of the wing nuts a year or so ago, and so I just had something on the other side as makeshift, but let me pull this out of here. You'll notice it's got different holes for different settings. So you can raise and lower this gate to make the feed flow rate what you want it to be. And the best way to do it, y'all, is use the lowest feed rate. If you see that there's a problem with it, you can adjust it, but keep it on that lowest setting if you get one of these. And y'all, I'll tell you, if you look on places like Craigslist, you may find where a small hog operation has gone out of business and they'll have stainless steel feeders. Now they'll be open top feeders, but if you're going to put it on a pad that you build, like a concrete pad or a wooden platform with a roof over it, that's an even better option because it's never going to rust. That's the way to go. You can probably pick it up cheaper than one of these. But this works really well also. Now all I got to do is get all the junk cleaned out of here. And while I was rummaging looking for that attachment for my drill, I actually found some Rust-Oleum paint. So I'll throw some of that in there just to cover up this rust. It actually does pretty good. If I were going to buy another one of these, as soon as I got it home and got it put together, I'd take a can of Rust-Oleum and spray every bit of this on the inside just to give it a barrier, because it's galvanized, and galvanized will rust over time. I believe I got this cleaned out fairly well. Scraped it with a small wire brush. Now I'll get in here, I'm gonna blow this thing out with a leaf blower and then just throw some paint on it. It's not like automotive quality by any means, but it's gonna help prolong the life of this thing. But y'all, back to Kyla and FFA. I think she was telling us there was like maybe 1% of all those kids that were at the state convention that actually interviewed for the delegate position. So it was a small pool of potential candidates. So we're very proud of her for her accomplishments. She, like many kids, she used to be all about ball. Basketball, volleyball, ball. And I like that too. You know, I grew up playing baseball, a little bit of football, but mostly baseball. And but I'm just glad that she hit her stride. You know, she chose this path all by herself. We've always told her that whatever you decide to do, that's on you, and we'll support you. So she's chosen this path, but she's actually at a camp right now, an FFA camp, and having a whole lot of fun. But anyways, we're gonna have fun here fixing up this hog feeder. Let's get on to cleaning this thing on out and get some paint on it. That's a dusty mess, but it'll work good enough for what we're doing. Fortunately, I found me a little Rust-Oleum when I was digging around looking for that wire brush attachment. It's funny, you know, if you've been following the channel any amount of time, especially since we started it, I believe it was about last August, so going on a year now. I got real sick, and from that junk that was going around, ended up laid up, hospital, and at home, and just really couldn't do nothing. And when I finally got to where I was able to get out and do a little bit of work, I couldn't remember where none of my tools were. And I'm still learning where stuff's at. It's crazy, but I'm very thankful to Lisa. She kept this place going, including the channel, while I was out. And y'all, she actually does a better job at it than I do as far as the videos. So I'm trying to get this knocked out and then get back in the kitchen and do some canning videos with her. She loves to can and she's good at it. But let's fog this thing down. Alright, y'all, had to put hogs on there, you know, because our hogs are smart and they can read that and they'll come over there and eat out of it. Anyways, y'all, I like being a little bit sarcastic once in a while. Oh, laughter's good medicine. Guys, this is done. I'll get it put back together, get a little platform built and a roof over it. This thing will last for years to come. I may have to do this every few years until the bottom finally rusts out, and then I'll find a piece of metal and fix it up again. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us at the Piney Woods Homestead. We love living this way. It ain't easy, but it is rewarding. And we hope that we're an encouragement to you and a blessing to you. Y'all have a good day, a great week. We'll see you on the next video.